Hey guys, Coach Dan here, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some tips to deal with upper trap and neck pain. So, talked to you guys a lot before about postural issues, sitting at a desk all day, being rounded in this position all day, and we all know that can lead to very tight and stiff upper traps. Okay, and I'm going to talk to you guys about a few ways to deal with that today. So, most of the time, if you get a massage here, or maybe you're rolling with a lacrosse ball, you'll notice these muscles right here are super stiff. And what happens is we roll those out, we get a massage. Might feel better for a couple seconds or maybe even a couple minutes or during your workout. And then a couple hours later or the next day, those just start to stiffen right back up. And so I want to show you guys a few tips today to work on that to hopefully alleviate some of that pain, because that upper trap pain can also lead to some shoulder issues as well as some neck issues. So here's the 3 tips. Okay, the first one is to use the lacrosse ball to actually roll out a muscle called our pec minor. Okay, so I like to use the pillar here just to get a little bit of movement with the arm we're stretching here. And this lacrosse ball is just going to go right inside the shoulder blade here, okay? What I'm going to do with this is keep the arm out, dig that into the pec there, and just try to find the spot where it's screaming at me most, where it's tightest. And I'm going to slowly just roll up and down on that spot for about 45 seconds to a minute on each arm, and I would do that a couple sets. The reason why I'm doing that is this pec minor muscle here is what tends to get really tight when we're rounded, okay? So that muscle is short and tight when we're in this position. And what happens when we're in this position is this also makes those traps chronically under tension, okay? So sometimes, like I said, we can massage out these traps as much as we want, but none of that might go away and they still might stay tight. And the reason is because we have to release this pec minor muscle first. When we release this pec minor muscle, then my shoulder can sit back and those traps can turn off, and now they're not under tension and they're not going to seem stiff the whole time, okay? So that's a great tool to start with, is to try to get that pec minor to release and do some tissue work there on both sides with the crossball. The next thing I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about is breathing. So when we're sitting around a lot during the day, our diaphragm gets turned off. Our diaphragm should be one of our main respiratory muscles and what we use to breathe, but when we're sitting a lot during the day, that gets turned off and we tend to breathe with more of our upper respiratory muscles like our pecs, our upper traps, our scalenes, our neck and shoulders and everything. And so we're more of a high, shallow breather where we're using the traps and elevating the shoulders to breathe as opposed to the diaphragm. So like I said, sometimes those traps can be chronically on just because we're not breathing with the right muscles, and these muscles are getting used for breathing, and so they're constantly on and tight. And so if we can use the diaphragm to shut these off from being breathing muscles, then we can also tend to alleviate some of that stress in the trap. So really easy drill for that. It's just going to be laying right on our back. You can do this with feet on the ground. I like to do feet up on the bench just to relax the hips a little bit more. And this also helps me keep my lower back pressed in the ground. I want to put one hand on my stomach, one hand on the chest. What I'm going to do is take a deep breath in through my nose and then out through my mouth. Okay, so when I take that deep breath in through my nose, my belly should be the first thing to raise, and then my chest, and then as I exhale, they all fall as one, and you're going to feel a big pull through these lower ab muscles as I breathe in. So as I breathe in and really push everything, as I breathe out and push everything out, you should really feel those ab muscles turn on, okay? So it's a deep breath in, out, and we push everything out and we recruit those ab muscles as we push out. So again, in, the belly's first, then the chest, out, everything comes out together, and we recruit those ab muscles and start to turn on that diaphragm for breathing. We could do this for a couple minutes a day, either when we get up in the morning or right before workout, or even when we go to bed. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is just scapular stability and strengthening these muscles around the shoulder blades so that we can hold those shoulders in place in that good postural position. One of the easiest ways to do that is just fan pull aparts. So with these, we're going to go palms up, keep the shoulder blades down. When we do this, though, we can do a kneeling or standing, but either way, when we do them, we don't want to arch the lower back as we're doing them. So we want to lock the hips in place, keep the abs tight, then pull the shoulders down, make sure we're not arched, palms up. Keep the arms straight and just pull this fan to the chest. And as I'm doing this, I'm squeezing through my shoulder blades and middle back muscles, not up through my upper traps. So again, we want to shut the upper traps off and turn those postural muscles, those rhomboids and mid back muscles on as I do this pull apart, okay? And we could do 10 to 15 of these for like 2 or 3 sets. So again, guys, just trying to give you guys some outside the box ways to help with the neck pain and upper trap pain and get away from just trying to get the lacrosse ball in there and actually go after the root cause of some of the trap stiffness and work on a few, like I said, outside the box things. If you guys are still having issues after you do this stuff, shoot me an email and I got a couple other tips that I can share with you guys to help with that. But hope you guys enjoy that. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, dan@cuttingedgefitness.com. Thanks, guys.